So welcome to the Power Connector, the podcast where we explore the real power of business and connection. I'm your host Aleisha Gill, and today I'm honoured to be speaking with a woman who's leading not just one, but two of Australia's most recognisable business networks, Sonia, CEO of Kwik Kopy Australia, and now Pack and Send as well. Sonia brings a powerful blend of commercial experience, vision-led leadership, and authentic connection, but the kind that builds teams, strengthens brands, and creates long-term value. In today's episode, we'll talk about the journey to leadership, the future of Kwik Kopy under new direction, what she's excited about for both brands, and why connection continues to be at the heart of sustainable growth. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Great to be here.
So I've been part of the Kwik Kopy ecosystem now for 11 years. 11 years. So I think it's very, very relevant, obviously, for us to have you on me to have you on my podcast. So as I was doing my research, obviously you've had an impressive career in growth and innovation, but I came across and met you as the CEO of Kwik Kopy. What drew you to be the CEO of Kwik Kopy in the first place?
Well, you're right. I've had a very varied career, done a lot of different things. Yeah. I started out in the corporate world when I was young, and then went off on an adventure with my husband, lived in Nicaragua for 11 years, did other things there, was a franchisee as well, and then did some other projects and then came back to Australia. When I came back to Australia, I got into snap printing. Was in the franchise sector. I wasn't deliberately looking for franchising, but I was attracted to that brand. I like icon brands, legacy brands. I used to run King G. I did a big evolution of the King G brand back in the day, and so it attracted me to those types of brands that icon brands you can really work with. I was attracted to the business, I think, because of the creativity. I've always liked working with designers. I'm not a designer myself, but I've always worked with either clothing designers or marketing designers and things of that nature, so I like that part of it, creativity. And I found printing it's kind of really fulfilling because you bring designs to life and bring brands to life. So I liked the sector, and then I dabbled in franchising myself, being a franchisee and done it. So I got into franchising, and when I was there, whilst I liked the business, one thing, as you get older, you work out, well, I don't want to be in a business where I'm not really aligned with either the culture or the values or the purpose. And particularly when you're in kind of higher level roles, you really have to be quite aligned with the board because they're who you're working with every day. And if you're not aligned in thinking, it doesn't kind of work. So I saw the role written up for Kwik Kopy, and the way it was written, I just went, yeah, it just really hit me. I like the values, I like the feel of the way they wrote the ad. And then when I met them, I was like, yeah, this is where I want to go, because it was about the values and the people and very much the community spirit of Kwik Kopy. And as I always say, that's probably the strongest part of the business. So it just resonated with me, moving to something.
And how long ago was that now?
That was early in 2022.
Yeah, so it was just before I became
March 2022.
Just over 3 years.
Yeah.
So now recently the big news is that you've also taken over Pack and Send as well.
Yes.
Obviously it's very new, but how has the transition been so far?
Well, I won't say that it hasn't been hectic. I won't say it hasn't been a whirlwind. It's just like we're moving at pace, and I guess that's the best way to do it. Sometimes you just got to rip off the Band-Aid, and we know where we want to go, and this is not the first rodeo for Ryan and the team coming in. This is like the third time they've done a similar thing with a regional office. So they've already done it in the US, they've more recently done the UK, and now we're doing Australia, where it's bringing these complementary brands together. So in them purchasing Kwik Kopy, they already had Pack and Send, but they hadn't really developed Pack and Send into what we call a Fatidia company, where we're leveraging international systems, ways of doing things, and also people infrastructure. Sorry about that. people, infrastructure. So it's really each week it's getting clearer and better, if you know what I mean. The first week quite hectic, bringing things together, but it's because they know what they're doing. So in the other 2 times they've done it, they took longer, they've trialled and errored, things haven't worked, so we're taking all those learnings from having done it twice before in very similar businesses. So Ryan's like, let's just get on with it. We know this has got to happen, rather than protract it. Let's just get it done quickly and move forward so that we can run faster, so that our franchisees can run faster.
Sounds exciting. But would you say over the years your leadership style has, because obviously you're in a leadership role here at Kwik Kopy and now Pack and Sand, has your leadership style evolved?
I would say, obviously, I was in leadership very young.
Yeah.
So I was running King G as the general manager of that whole business unit when I was 32. So that was a big job, publicly listed company. So obviously a lot of corporate governance in that area. I think just the experience I had after that 11 years, some people say out in the wilderness, was where I got to start businesses and raise capital and do a whole lot of different things, which I think adds, everything is an experience at the end of the day. Leadership, you can draw on so many different experiences. So you're always going to evolve. I think I've always been very people-centric in my leadership style. Like, you don't have a business unless you have people, particularly as a leader. Like, you can't do everything, so you've got to make sure that you're motivating everyone and getting everyone engaged so that you can take them on a change journey, because I do change and transformation. That's what I tend to do in all my roles. So have I? Yeah, I probably evolved, but more than anything, you just get wiser and more experienced.
Would you say though, even though you've evolved, you stay true to who you are as a leader? Like that's important. Like you can evolve and learn skills, but I guess that's when you talk back to what attracted you to Kwik Kopy, is you wanted to be in an organisation that is true to.
Yeah, it's really important to align with your values. If you don't do that, you're fighting those every day. So I think, to me, as I've gotten older, when you're younger, you probably go into a company and you're just happy to be there and have a job. But you probably put up with a lot more. As you get older, you go, no, I'm not going to put up with that. I want to be somewhere. I want to enjoy coming in. I want to be aligned with the vision of whether it's a board or the shareholders or whoever it may be that's directing things. You have to be aligned with that, and you have to agree with it. Otherwise, your job's a chore.
And you're not going to be happy coming
to work every day. Yeah, no, definitely.
So obviously the big news is that Kwik Kopy has always been, the franchise was Australian family owned, and now it's being bought by Fatia. So obviously changes are going to happen. And so what would you say you're most excited about how where you believe Kwik Kopy is now heading?
Well, the thing I'm excited about is really the fact that there's always been these things in my mind that I've wanted to do, but one, I haven't had the resources to do them, and two, I haven't had kind of that depth of leadership team to do them either. So now I've come in, I've got this leadership team. Before I'd be like, everything kind of relied on me. It's like, okay, I've got the board telling me what to do, I've got this going on, and now I'm like, things are happening, and I'm like, I don't have to do it myself. So, and also we're tapping into so many resources. Like you're going to see tomorrow something, and you're going to go, wow, this is amazing. These are proven ways to make change and get growth, and we just have to implement them.
So obviously I nerd out about brand, and I think that's so important, is brand, and I talk about it all the time. What are you most excited about from a branding, and what you might be able to achieve from a branding side for Kwik Kopy?
So the thing with, so I've done a lot of the strategy work and the vision for the brand going forward. We've kind of already got that plan and we're working towards it. So when I came in, it's like, oh, we're a print business, and then we've got, we've got wide format and signage, and we're kind of broadening that out, and now I feel like we're at the point where a visual communication business. That's where we are now, and eventually we'll be a marketing communication business. That's the path we're on. So that's what I'm excited about, because there's a whole piece here I wanted to work on. which is the design piece, for instance.
Yeah.
Now having the resources and tapping into other companies around the world who are our sister companies and they're going to be in the same spot in those areas, so we can leverage each other to come up with world-class systems to support whether it's new products, new product systems, services.
And I think that's the exciting part, is that we've been saying that really we're brand experts, specialising currently in print and signage, more of that physical product. If we have the ability to bring in more of the digital, like that's even more exciting too. The design's there, but not as big. If we're already experts in how making your brand stand out physically, if we can then have systems and try and deliver the digital, we can help our customers so much more. So that's exciting. And like we're so good at building relationships with our customers. If we can then offer them that, that's certainly exciting.
Well, I think I feel like I was just doing a bit of an update recently of the strategy and looking at what's going on in the industry, and we're in the visual communication industry now. That's where we are.
Definitely.
We've kind of got there. We weren't there before, but I feel we've evolved and we can start to play that position.
Even print's visual communication.
It is. Well, it's all visual.
Yeah, it's all visual. That's what
everything we do is visual at the moment.
So with that, how have you, with your strategy, how have you seen customers' behaviour? Do you believe customers' buying behaviours have changed lately?
I did. That was why I actually was just in there. I've got a whole LM note set up, and I was doing a whole lot of amazing research using AI. So I've just been updating like some of what's going on with our B2B buyers, and the big thing is, and I think we know it, but they just want instant transparency on pricing and things of that nature. They do want to know things really quickly, and they're not going to wait. We've known that, but the quicker we can be in delivering quotes back and getting back to them. If you get back to them, I've always known it's about 20 minutes, but if you get back to someone in 20 minutes, just to touch base with them, you will 100% close that deal in our business. So that's not changing, but I think the younger generation coming through, so if we're dealing to the 25 to 35-year-old females, which is a lot of what we get in through our website, we have to cater to their needs, and they want instant answers, and they're shopping around, and we have to be there where they are.
So, like, obviously as visual communication companies, we need to evolve. Do you feel Kwik Kopy is going to be in a better position to help Kwik Kopys now evolve to meet those needs with this latest change?
I do. It's fantastic. I'm sitting there having great conversations with the IT people and technology, and we're talking about, okay, well, we've beta tested this AI tool. I'm like, that's great. Let's get in and let's get going on it. But at least there's a lot more people putting their intelligence to things now. Yeah. Before, we were just sitting in here. We're a small, we had 20 people in here, and who are you bouncing ideas off? Mainly suppliers, but now we've got a whole network of over 1,000 people focused on the same things.
Yeah.
Just all around the world.
Replicate it. Yeah. That's certainly exciting. So obviously having that network, innovation is certainly going to be at the forefront of what, innovating to help us with our customers' needs. Do you think you have to also juggle that innovation with not losing what Kwik Kopy really is?
Yeah, of course. We will never lose what Kwik Kopy is. We've got such solid foundations in the brand now, and that was great to do that in 2022, to bring in all that depth of, I would say, that weren't there before. After that work, that was strategic work that was done 2021, and then we released in 2022. If that wasn't in place, you don't have the groundwork done. We've got that. It's very clear. It's branding. We know who we are as a brand. We know what we stand for. We know our value proposition, and it's set up for the next 10 years. Yes, we'll keep evolving products and be innovative, but you never lose those roots as a brand. So we'll just keep moving it and evolving it, but not losing sight of what the brand stands for. So branding is key.
Yes, yeah, but definitely. And look, the proper brand awareness isn't so much products anyway. It's about what is behind the people
And
selling the
how
product.
people, and also how you make people feel.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
the experience they have in a centre.
Yeah.
That's part of the brand experience as
Definitely.
well. So with us all running in the same direction, all kind of going with the same values, that's reinforcing every touch point with the brand, whether it's visual, whether it's feeling, whether it's experience, whether it's an ad, whether it's the service they get.
Yeah.
That's all brand consistency. So.
And I think that's so important because, you know, like you said, the products, innovation happens. So even the products are going to constantly change.
Yeah.
I've been in print for over 20 years, and what we were producing as the staple 20-something years ago, and the volumes we're producing is so different. Doesn't mean we're not still important and should be part of the marketing strategy. So the products are going to evolve, but if you keep your ethos of, and like you said, how the products, and focus on how the products make people feel rather than the product. I think that's what's so important.
We always talk, and I've seen you talk about it, the tactile experience of what we do is so important. Like, you know, I always feel the paper. Even someone came in here the other day, this is just from our printer.
Yeah.
Oh, we can tell you're in a printing company because the paper quality is
Yeah.
just better.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's just things like that, the quality, the feel. I mean, that's been around for a while. I used to do a lot of it back when I first started in marketing. I'd get the paper, and we had to pick the paper that went with the brand refresh. Like we picked all the papers, and we were trialing the papers out, and it's like, does that represent the brand? It was so important.
Yeah, that is important. That certainly is a big change when you go into branding guidelines, because definitely you go back probably 10 years ago, you'd get a brand brief from a customer, and it would definitely say our paper, it is this specific brand because we've worked with the paper company and that's what represents it. And that certainly, that has disappeared.
Yeah.
And it is a shame, but I do get.
Yeah, I see it. Because we have a really beautiful business card, and I always give it out and we talk about it, and then I look at their card, and these are sometimes people in the print industry. I said, what are you doing with a card like that? Like, and people look at my card and turn it over and look at the We Make Possible, and they'll remember that.
Yeah.
Because you've connected with them, tactile, you felt it, we've had a discussion about it, it's reinforced.
Yeah, definitely. I actually yesterday did a talk at my B&I group on business cards, because obviously it's networking, it's so relevant, and
I love my card.
We use the same. We use a mixture of the. We also do the gradient with the blue foil as well.
And every time I hand it over isn't a chance for me to reinforce that brand, and no one forgets that experience, because I give it to them. I say, look at this, and we talk about that We Make Possible and why that stands for it, and
certainly, like the more networking we do, we're handing our cards out a lot more, and we actually are starting to see people understand and come to us and go, if I'm going to do cards, and because we talk a lot about, obviously, if your brand isn't a luxury brand, the value in a real luxury card can be a bit different. But if you are trying to represent luxury or good service or a higher end product, you should definitely have that higher end business card.
But it's even cut through. Like at the end of the day, I mean, we're not a luxury business, but I'm representing what we are. But it's just, that's our brand line. Yeah. So it gives me an opportunity to talk about the brand line.
You feel it. You feel the difference. Evan always hands it over with that sign.
Yeah, I do too.
And he's like, he wants everyone to know.
I go like that.
He wants everyone to know, and then they feel it, and they're like, that's so nice. And we even talk, because obviously you've got your NFC digital cards, and we carry them as well.
I've tried that, and I just don't use it.
I think, and what we say to people is, how often do you sit there, go through your phone and go and look at the name and go, oh, that's that person I met there. I collect business cards, and they sit on my desk, and I'm like, oh, that's fine. Oh, that's a person I met there. They do this, and it makes me go back to it.
Remember it.
Yeah, you're not going to sit through your phone, because a lot of people just have the QR code on their phone. People aren't going to sit there and go, I remember that person from my contact, because you've got hundreds. Yeah. So it's still so relevant.
Just goes into the digital ether.
Yeah.
Yeah. My husband's in sales, and he comes back from trade shows with a pile of people's business cards like that. He's got notes. He sorts them out. He gives them to his someone in the office and they put them into the CRM and the other, it's a whole system for him. And he goes through more business cards than anyone, I know.
And it really is you meet someone and you might not need their services then, but you've collected their business card, sits there, and it happens all the time. I'm like, Evan, we need to arrange something or other. And he'll be like, I met someone somewhere that do that, and he'll be rummaging through his desk going, oh, that's the person to contact.
Yeah. Because I mean, you can't go through your phone and find that person in your contacts. It's like you'll see a name maybe, but
you're not going to remember them as well.
No.
So Pack and Send and Kwik Kopy, they're both probably leading brands. They certainly have great brand awareness, like the Pack and Send logo. People know Pack and Send as well. What opportunities do you see for going forward for the two brands to work in synergy together?
Yeah, well, we're already exploring those. It's come up pretty quickly, so it's going to happen. They're so complementary. And the thing that Kwik Kopy's been great at, printing things and sourcing things and doing all of those visual communications, but we've never really had a strong part in the logistics or the shipping. We're relying on couriers or this, that, and the other, and we don't really have a great system. So already we're going, okay, we can tap into, we've got this program called Live, Pack and Send Live, which is an online program, a bit like our Zenith program, but it's for that part of, for shipping and logistics and so we're going, okay, we can already supply that, get better courier rates for the centre. So that's a low hang. We've already got that on the agenda.
Yeah.
I've already come from a meeting of if people have space next to, we come from a centre this morning, and like, well, we've got space next to us, we're moving into, can we put a Pack and Send next? Sure, let's chat about that. Because they're complementary. Someone comes in to send something, oh shoot, I can get it printed there too, or vice versa.
Definitely, because in a slightly different way, we recycle coffee pods, and people come with an espresso centre and they'll drop it off. And I just had someone who goes, oh, you do all this. So it is like complementary.
Complementary.
They come for one version because Pack and Send might be more a brand that people want to go in and deal with rather than online.
Well, they've got to drop something off.
Yeah, that's it.
And normally what happens is, because the main thing that Pack and Send does is we call it FLAV. So fragile, large, awkward, valuable. That's what they're great at. Yes, they do regular parcels and everything, and they'll make sure it gets there, and they'll organise whether it's international, national, whatever it is. But they're often things that are difficult to pack. So they come in and you need someone to pack it. Now the regular companies won't do that. You got to put it in a satchel, you got to fit it in this. Whereas they're doing it kind of custom packaging, I guess you could say, because they've got expertise in that. So I think the thing you've got is you do have people coming in, but also they're really, it's what we both do, is adding the human touch into things that, you can go online and buy something and a brochure and have a ho-hum experience because you don't really get what you want because no one advised you, all the experiences you get online. You can do that in the courier industry as well. And we know what happens with that. So this is bringing in the human touch to make sure that it's going to be what you want or even what you don't know you need yet. So it's all that advice and looking after and there to help.
And I think it's a valuable thing, even coming back to the business cards, the amount of times that we will be out networking and talking to people and they'll give us their business cards and they'll be, sorry, it's not as nice as yours. I ordered online and they said this is premium and it's not premium. Whereas we, if
they come to
us,
you,
we actually have discussions about, and you can get something as silly as small as business cards. It's so important, and we have that discussion. So I could definitely see that value. But I think it's exciting, like certainly from the freight and the courier, to have a system that we can all use and leverage that, because even our case, our two biggest customers have between 50 and 100 locations Australia-wide that we do send, and a lot of centres and a lot of people don't even realise that Kwik Kopys do that. So if we have a better way of promoting that, that we can handle large scale customers and do that and make ourselves better at that, because a lot of us are already doing it, and if we can do it better.
And the thing that we probably don't do as efficiently at Kwik Kopy, like, because it's not our main business.
Yeah, that's it. And
so we're probably wasting a lot of time that we shouldn't have to waste, and we can concentrate on the things that Kwik Kopy does well, which is not sitting there packaging things up and making sure it's all ready to go. So, you know, of course we do that already, and we do local deliveries ourselves, but this is kind of like you said, if you've got a national account, you've got to ship things around the country. If you've got to get things there on time, you need that customer service to make sure, you know, if you're shipping a sign to a retailer nationally, you know, they won't say it's done until it's hanging in the window. And sometimes, and there's tight time frames. So if you're doing that type of business, you need, you know, a lot of, we call it, I was looking at the brand the other day, it's a Guardian brand. So they make sure, you know, it's about care and insurance and making sure your things get there on time, in full, unbroken, and they don't go missing, and they, you know, so that's what they make sure happens.
Because that is exciting, because I'm sure we've all got our horror stories of courier companies that have let us down unbelievably. And a lot of our customers not even...
Yeah, we pick up a lot of business because of that. So it's fine if those customers aren't using, obviously, Pack and Send, but, you know, because that's what we do. They come in, you turn up to a trade show and you've shipped some stuff up there, it's not there, I'll go to Kwik Kopy and get it all done here. In the same day. We get a lot of customers through that, so we kind of like the couriers breaking that problem, causing that problem for us to fix. But they're not Pack and Send couriers.
So would you say you've already identified some shared values that overlap between the two brands?
Well, even back to Fortidia, like our purpose is empowering entrepreneurs to make their mark on the world. It's really the same purpose as Fortidia, because if you think about it, that's what they're doing. That purpose works for us because that's what we're doing for our customers. We're helping them, we're empowering our SMEs and all of those entrepreneurial spirited growth mindset customers to make their mark on the world by providing them amazing visual communications and get their brand out there and help them promote it. So that goes for our customers, but that as a franchisor, that's what we talk about you. We say, okay, we're empowering you to make your mark on the world. And that's what Fortidia is doing. So it's essentially the same purpose for all of because they only do franchising, so they're empowering a whole lot of franchisees around the world in B2B industries. It's all similar industries to what we do. Yes, it's Pack and Send here, but you know, it's MBE in Europe and around the place, and Alpha Graphics in the US. We're all in the same game, if you know what I mean. So what we do for you, there's a lot of overlap there, so think about it.
When it comes to their franchising, they focus on B2B stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty much B2B. Yeah, if you think about it, like they're all, obviously Pack and Send does a lot of consumer as well. Like if you want to ship your $1,000 beautiful teapot somewhere, of course they're doing that. So they do a lot in the B2C space.
We're predominantly B2B, but we do if a company.
Yeah, we deal with consumer as well. They do have, in some depends on the location. Some of them have stronger B2C, but in the most part, B2B is where the growth is. That's their more stable customer base, similar to us. We're probably been more focused on B2B for a long time. Whereas, you know, they're getting more focused on it from a Pack and Send perspective.
So obviously the podcast is called The Power Connector, and that is because I think how we connect with people and even connection with business and brand is so important. How do you define connection in a business or leadership context?
Well, it's all about people, relationships. I always say this because when I reflect on leadership, I wonder why I've always been quite good at this from a young age. I grew up in the country, and I say if you grow up in the country, you deal with all walks of life. So I remember when I was younger, I would be my boss said to me once, how do you get those people in the warehouse to do your work for you? Like, how are you relating to them? So I'm relating as well to the people in the warehouse, and then having to deal with a board member of an ASX listed. Because in the country you grow up doing that. So I go to school with people who live in housing commission, and you know, my friend's father is a heart surgeon. You grow up with all walks of life in the country, and I think it's amazing how many people you see, particularly women. It's weird. I've met a lot of really amazing women in leadership who are from the country.
Actually, I had my taxi driver today say that he was something about I grew up in the country. He goes, oh, you can tell, like you just like you can just chat
to everyone, and you know, I used to have my mother walking down the street, and we couldn't get anywhere because she's talking to everyone down the street.
We wouldn't want to walk with our dad, but we'd be walking behind. And even now, like you go and my dad, it gets talk on the phone with his friends, or like you can't. If you go to anything with him, he's like, he went on a car rally, and we're like, he's bound to know someone there. And sure enough, like a random car rally, like with people over Australia, he knew someone on the car rally because he connects and chats to people. And
it's just being able to relate. It's human relation principles. You know, also having done the Dale Carnegie, like, it's not that I didn't have it before, but it just reinforced. I'm like, oh, that's why that happens. Or, you know, at the end of the day, people are people, and that's all it is. It's a people relationship in every business, in every role in the world. So,
so I think my next question was how you build a strong relationship with franchisees, but you've probably sort of covered that because it comes down to the connection and communication as well.
Yeah, I think so. I think also with franchisees, I think they do see it like, I'm not faking it. I genuinely want them to be successful and generally care about them and their business. I've been a small business owner. I've seen how hard it is. We were talking about that today, and it's hard in any business. Being a small business owner, being responsible for everything, you know, paying the wages, not having the money there. I know those experiences. I've been in that too. So I think having that empathy, because I've had experience, that helps. Having been in different positions. So I think having spent 11 years in a third world country and seeing what hardship really is, and seeing people living hand to mouth and feeding families, like, because of what you do for people, I think that humbles you. And I think coming back to Australia, which is an extremely wealthy country, but you still have people here that live like that, and I think people forget that sometimes, and I do remember that very strongly. That's ingrained on me. Like, people are suffering everywhere, so you just got to be conscious of that. And I think the big thing for me is because I have it happen all the time in here, you know, a franchisee will get really upset with one of our staff members, and I'm like, look, just listen, it's not about you. It's something going on with them. It's never about you. They're not screaming at you. It's nothing you've done. Just let it be, and just accept the fact they've got a lot of challenges, that things are not going right today, or they've got something in their personal lives. You never know.
Yeah, I always say if someone in any way that you're dealing with it explodes and it's not a normal reaction, you've not actually done something to warrant that, it's not your problem. Like it's something else that they're going through.
Yeah, and that's one of the big learnings I took from Dale Carnegie from doing that training. Most people, you know, when you think people are thinking about you and looking at you and judging you, most of the time they're thinking about themselves. They're not thinking about you, and that's human nature.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things we've been really focusing on is, like, and when I talk about connection, it's actually connecting with people, actually ask them about themselves. And if you actually, and that's how you really connect with someone and build a relationship, is actually ask them questions. And we do some training with Swish, and it's all based around just ask questions. That's
and seeing where you connect.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, when you're talking about the horses, I had a horse, so I understand these things, and, you know, that's a passion of yours, so I'll always talk to you about horses because it interests me. It's no good talking to people about things you're not interested in. They can tell. That's fake. So you got to ask more questions, and you'll find something eventually. Go, I connect on that. That's That's what'll be fun for me to talk about.
Yeah,
too.
actually, I went to a networking event and I was with someone at it, and then they were telling someone else, it's like amazing. She went to some random networking event and found someone that loves country music, and they were there for like 20 minutes talking about country music, and it's just a random interaction, and you find something in common to talk about.
Yeah. So that's it at the end of the day. Human relations principles.
So when we talk about connection, is there a moment in your career that stands out to you where like connecting with someone genuinely changed the outcome of a decision? Tough one.
That is a tough
or
one.
Or the direction you've taken.
The moments and I'm trying to think about that. I think a lot of things, I will say that the whole Dale Carnegie, because we became a franchisee, that whole experience and the people I met through that and just the understanding I gained in there was very life-changing.
Yeah.
Because I was doing things, kind of didn't really understand why things worked, and probably didn't understand that human part to everything. And that really explained it to me, and it just changed everything for me, where I used to be worried about, oh, why is that person not remembering my name? Like, are they ignoring me? And I think, no, I went, oh, probably because the same as you, they didn't listen, or they had something else going on in their head. And just little things like that they just change your whole paradigm of how you act, in a way.
Yeah, like it probably changed the direction of your leadership or your business and your life, because you're viewing things differently.
I think before that, people wouldn't have said I was an extrovert. Now they go, because I just walk up and talk to people, and I was okay at it, but not to the level I am now. Now I don't care. I just go up and I go, yeah, well, how are you? And we'll have a chat, and I know how to do it, and I know why it's important, and I don't care as much about, well, if they react, it's not me. It's them, and they've got something else going on. That's okay.
Yeah,
I'm not taking it personally.
I often have this discussion with people, is that also the reality is we meet people, like you can get caught up that someone doesn't like me or that, but some people's energy just don't match each other. And true. Like if you think you go into a room and like if you go in a big room of people and you made an effort to talk, there's going to be people in the room that you go, well, I don't really care if I talk to them again. Like they just didn't match my energy, and I did. So why are we going to get upset if someone else feels that way? It's not about you. It's
not meant to be, and that's, I think, just saying, well, it's not meant to be, and don't worry about it. I think that's a good attitude to have.
Yeah.
It's not about you. It's probably something with them, or they don't like. They're uncomfortable in this area.
Yeah, that's it. Sometimes you think someone, they didn't want to talk to me, and I was trying, and why didn't they like me? It's just maybe they're actually not comfortable in that situation, and they're a little bit.
Yeah, I think the thing that I've probably gotten better at is trying to make those people comfortable. Like I do that. I'm like, okay, I can see this, but let me make it easier for them.
Yeah.
So let me do all the talking sometimes. Or on the other side of it, it's no, I'll just ask them. Or you ask some questions and you're not getting out of it, so you're just kind of helping them converse a bit more. If they're
definitely. Like if you've ever been in a room where you're uncomfortable, if someone's come up and made an effort, like you're standing on your own and made an effort, like that can just change it for you. If you can do
I do that all the time now. Whereas in the past, when I was younger, I'm talking like a while ago, 15 years ago or something, I probably would have gone, oh, I won't go and talk to them. I'll just, I probably would have been more timid, or not seen that as a good thing to do or an important thing to do. Now I place more importance on that.
Yeah, and I also think if you focus on like connecting with people different and using like what you've learned with Dale Carnegie, is that you're trying to connect with people. You learn so much. You learn so many interesting things. Yeah. And that's why I think even we do a lot of business networking. It's not even necessarily about the business that we're going to get it. It's just like different ideas and different things people
I
have
guess
been
you've got to enjoy it too. Yeah. I find it fun. I find it interesting to hear stories
some people
of
have some interesting stories, and if you ask the question, you find them there.
Yeah. And it makes work and life more fun. Like otherwise it'd be pretty boring.
So we all, Evan and I at Kwik Kopy Eagle Farm, we say part of our role is to help our customers connect with their customers.
Yeah.
And that's what I focus on. It's about how you connect with your customers and how our products help
and how you make them memorable.
Yeah, and using print and signage to not just make their brand stand out, actually connect with their customers. So how would you, like with all the recent changes, do you think there's ways that Kwik Kopy is now going to be able to support more franchisees to help their customers connect more?
I think at the end of the day it comes down to we do know that we need to, people don't like the word sales for some reason, but building relationships in B2B, that's a big focus.
Yeah.
It's sales. It's why we have a senior VP of sales, they call it, but it's network sales and operations, but it's focused on sales. So we will be, and I've always been saying, like, you've just got to keep bringing in the programs, and it's not just do one training program, it's got to be constant. You've got to evolve it, you've got to tackle this. And then you got to keep going back. Okay, that's reinforced. Now let's tackle this.
Repetition.
It's repetition. It's practice. It's reinforcement. Oh, and if you want to change a habit, you have to have hours of practice of doing it.
And like that brings up another point to me. I think, like you didn't want to say sales. I just think
I don't
in general,
mind it, but the franchisees hate it. I don't know why they're scared of it.
And I have this discussion with people all the time. Yeah. I think we put like a negative connotation on sales, but in the different work we've been doing out there and how I explain it to people, and it's made me change because I've always said I'm not in sales. So my background was I was always in the office. I've never been out in a selling role. I'm in customer service and I just give customer service.
Management.
Yeah, and I'm not in sales. I don't sell to people. And it was like I had this problem saying I'm not a salesperson. And Evan has been saying to me, you are in sales.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not in sales.
We're all in sales.
And I've, like this last year I've changed and go, I am sales, but we've done work on that. But I think the way it's explained to me, I think it's so important to understand. You're not there's not a negative feeling on sales if you are legitimately selling someone something they need. Like if you're trying to sell them something, like, you know, you go into different type sales where they don't need it and it's pushing. But everything we sell is going to help our customers in some way. There's no doubt about it. So why do we feel bad about selling?
Well, I think I call it what we do is relationship selling. So it's winning with relationship selling. It's not about selling, it's about building a relationship, and then you know what your customer needs and how you can become their trusted advisor. So at the end of the day, you're not selling because you're just doing what they need you to do.
Providing them a product that they need.
But in order to do that, you need to build the relationship first. So.
And every product we sell is going to help them in their business in some way.
Yeah.
Very rarely is someone ordering a product and it sits there and they never use it.
Yeah.
Like they're using it as helping them in some way.
Yeah.
So obviously a lot of the products as such that we sell is a physical product. Do you think your feelings, well, I know my feelings are pretty strong on it, but do you think our physical products that we sell are still so important in a world where digital
I think they're more important now.
Yeah.
They're more important than they've ever been because, I mean, I've worked in the digital world as well, and I think we all, back in the, I call it, everyone drank the Google and Facebook Kool-Aid back in the, I'm going to say around 2008 to 2010, just after the economic crisis we had in 2008, people battened down the hatches with marketing and they all just went, and that's when Google and Facebook really started to come out with digital ads, and it was all about that. And the pendulum just swung too far the other way. And of course, why wouldn't they? They're big behemoths and they're just driving us digital. We all started investing in marketing technology and all these things and emails, and there's so much of it there. How do you cut through that now? How do you cut through?
I don't know. I'm not an expert on the figures, but I know I've spoken to digital people, and Evan went to one event and and there was a digital marketer there, and someone's question for him was, what do I have to do to cut through? And he said, this is a small business. He said, realistically, if you don't have $100,000 a month, you're not going to cut through. That's where it is at, at how much, and the ecosystem, how it's cut down. Digital, you've got to have a digital strategy. It's there, right?
You've got to have it.
And that's what I say, you've got to have it, but you've got to look at your physical
it's all the other things.
Strategy that complements
It's omni-channel, so everything's omni-channel. I call it the 360 surround. You've got to be hitting them everywhere you can, whether it's a sign at a trade show, whether it's, yes, they received something over here in an email versus you've dropped something off in their centre. When you're doing B2B sales, it's a nurture. And so you've got to hit them from many different angles with what you want to get across to them at least 12 times. It used to be back in the day 7 or 8. It's now gone up to about 20 different things they've got to see. And that could just be a line in an email to, like I said, you've seen the brand at a trade show or you've driven past a sign on the street. They're all touch points. And you got to use it all. You can't not use, and it's hard to spread your budget around, but you've just got to make sure you're using every medium you can, and you've got to balance them.
I think as a visual communications company like us, we've just got to get smarter at making people understand the value of that physical product. And the reason I say that, and I can see why digital...
Because it's hard to measure.
That's what I'm going to say.
Digital's easy to measure. And that's why marketers love it. Oh, I can just...
That's it. I got this many impressions. I got this many clicks.
And that lead costs $6.
And that's why I was going to say why they were going...
We got this many and da-da-da.
And they find it, we've never... And there's probably not a real way to measure it, but we just have to get better at making them understand the value. And I think it's even sometimes just thinking something as simple as, we all online shop, right? That's what we all do. Think about where I've had to stop. I'm not allowed to shop. I'm not allowed to shop at the moment.
Someone said no more shopping, Aleisha.
No, my horse is off being trained at the moment, so I commented to my trainer this week that she cost me this red pair of boots.
Fair enough.
I'm like, no red boots.
That's fair enough. At least you're in control.
I own a horse, I can't.
No, with the online shopping, you can control it.
But if we think about, we all online shop, so we get multiple different packages. Think about the different packages you get and when you get more excited, and usually there's something special about that, where it's the unboxing, or they've given me a little sticker, or they've got a personalised
they've got really good quality packaging, their brands there, because of the unboxing and e-commerce revolution that happened, particularly just went through the roof during COVID. For a lot of those brands, the only branding moment is that box. Or the packaging you receive. So I always say, if you want to be a quality brand, when you get something and the packaging's not great, I made a bad call here, didn't I? When you get something out of China and you go, that looks a lot better online, and you get the packaging out.
And this is
not going to be good. And you go, I got conned again. I do it all the time. Not all the time, I'm pretty good at it, but every now and then it happens, and you go, oh my goodness, I made a bad call, and immediately as soon as you get that packaging. That's the branding experience that they're giving you.
And I say, if you think about how special you feel when you get something really good, and that's in the e-commerce space, you cross that feeling over elsewhere, that why would your own customers not feel that great?
Sorry about that.
No, you're
right. They're all looking at me. I'm like...
So what role do you think Kwik Kopy is going to continue to play, in helping us small and medium businesses, Kwik Kopy Australia, grow? How do you think you're going to continue?
Well, I think just continued product innovation, making sure we focus in on knowing what our customers need in various industries with products, and continually innovating, being the ones that bring them the new ideas. Okay, we can do this now. So we're just always got to be innovating from the products, and we're really good at that at Kwik Kopy anyway. you're tapping into the brain's trust on innovation, if you think about it, because someone over here finds this, and we know how it works at Kwik Kopy, then someone puts out the call, does anyone know where to get this, and you got all these people coming back. So we've got that in spades, but it's just continually innovating and being ahead of the curve for our customers, so we can bring them the best. Well, because then we help them compete and they get cut through. So, and at the end of the day, they're successful and we've helped them.
We're having that.
We've helped them, so it just keeps coming back, keeps going around in a circle.
So obviously you talk strategy, so I guess vision. What is the big picture hope for Kwik Kopy for the next 3 to 5 years, or are you still working on that?
No, as I say, I wrote a book a little while ago. I've only got one here. So this one here, which was the growth and expansion 2025 beyond. This is our plan. Obviously, it's an evolution in franchising, and I talk about that move to marketing communications, and that's going to be an evolution. We're going to have some early adopters who are in the network, and then we roll through those ones who, we've got some owners that have been in the system a long time, and they're just going to see out their days doing print, right? And then, but I've got a new one at the moment, and he's come from that background, and he's chomping at the bit. It's like, I know all the same, I want to do this. And I'm like, so we've got to, that's how it works in franchising. It's you got to create the wave. It's a wave. So we'll just start it and we keep rolling it out. And then by the time we're 10 years down the track, I would say, it might be 5 years, I don't know how quickly it's going to go, but you have to have a goal and you have to start working on that now. That's how these things work. Things take time. I've always been a big believer in, you plan out for here and here, and that's what strategy is. You need to have, that's our vision on the hill.
What are those little things?
And what are we going to do to get there, and how do we start that process of evolving the business so you look back and you go, we're here now.
If you don't start today,
you've got to start somewhere.
That's it. I've got to tell you, this is progress over perfection. If you wait till you've got it perfect, and that's the thing that I think even AI and those digital, it scares everyone, right? But you've got to start understanding and start. No one's saying you have to go completely revolutionize your business, but start thinking about little things that you can do.
If you think about it, all comes back to the purpose, which I keep looking up there because it's on the wall. Because that's why Fortidia used the word entrepreneurs as well. Because we have a space for entrepreneurs to grow, like yourself, we allow that. So you've got a great idea. Okay, we'll support you. Okay, this is working. Now let's roll that out further. But we give people that space to be entrepreneurs in Kwik Kopy. Now that's the antithesis of franchising, if you think about it. You go into McDonald's.
A lot of franchising. It's like we give you this
here, follow the bouncing ball, and you don't do anything else. But we're like, we say, look, these are the things we're strict on. And it's kind of more the back end and the finances and doing this the right way, and we'll train on this, but we allow you to still be entrepreneurial, and we want you to be entrepreneurial. That's what we want. That's our purpose, isn't it? So having that central core purpose, and that is the same core purpose as Fortidia, just means we're set up to keep becoming the business we want to be down the track, because we're always evolving, and it's happening all over the country every day in our business. So we just go, okay, this has got legs, let's harness that and go with that. So we've got people pushing the boundaries every day in this business, and that's our purpose, and we want you to, and so that's not going to change, and we'll just continue to support that.
So you personally, so that's business, you personally, what as a leader, what are you most excited about now?
Well, I think being in a business where, like, that's the amazing thing. Like I just said, we've all got the same core purpose. You hear the Simon Sinek video, the why. We've all got the same why. Fortidia's got the same why. Kwik Kopy's got the same why. I've got the same why. So that makes it really easy for us, because we're always coming back to that. What gets us out of bed every day? Empowering entrepreneurs to make their mark on the world. Empowering entrepreneurs to be successful. So to me, when you've got everyone doing that, having that as your core purpose, then that's exciting, because it doesn't happen very often. in business. Yeah, so.
So to close out, what's one message you hope listeners walk away with after hearing this podcast?
I think if from a leadership perspective, I think you've got to really be true to yourself and work out what and where and why you want to work somewhere and why you want to do what you want to do. And sometimes people don't work that out till they're older, or sometimes they never work that out. Yeah. And they just kind of come in, and if you're not happy doing what you're doing, then find something else to do. You know, that would be one thing I'd take away. That's kind of a wiser thing as you get older. You look back on that. And I think the second thing, from a business perspective, it's hard starting a small business, but if you have that spirit, then there's no better time to do that than now, with everything that's going on in the world.
Yeah, I think so. I think from our side is like we've always worked hard and we've always worked long hours anyway, because that's just naturally us. I think sometimes that's even growing up in the country. It's that
but you're building something.
Yeah, but we're doing it for ourselves now.
You're building something for yourselves, and you may not see the financial return straight away, but you definitely will. And you're building value in something as well. So it's not just for a take-home salary. It's you're building wealth and a legacy and something you can either sell at some point and have a nice windfall then, or something that you can take to your family or whatever you want to do.
That's it for today's episode of The Power Connector. Thank you for tuning in. If something landed for you, pass it on. Share this with a friend, tag us on socials, or leave a review. I'd love to hear what connection means to you. And don't miss the episodes where Evan joins me. We'll be sharing simple, creative ways you can use design, print, and signage to connect with your audience and bring your brand to life. Until next time, keep showing up, keep connecting, and keep making your mark through the power of connection.